this tutorial we are going to learn about the tokens. Okay, so what do we mean by tokens? So tokens means the smallest individual unit in a program is known as the tokens. So in a program there are small things. Okay, so these things are known as the tokens. Like the first one is the keywords. So what do you mean by a keyword? So keyword means the reserved word of a compiler or an interpreter which can't be used as an identifier. So keywords means the reserved word, means the compiler already know about those words. Okay, so since the compiler already know about those words, so you cannot use them as an identifier. So we will learn about what do you mean by an identifier. So second type of token is that identifier, third is literals, fourth is operators, and the fifth is punctuators. So let's learn about what do you mean by an identifier. Okay, so in maths, like you have the variables, so in programs you have the identifiers, means the variables. Okay, so a Python identifier is a name used to identify a variable, function, class, module, or an object. So in a program you have a variable, you can have a function, you can have a class, you can have a module, or you can have other objects, other type of objects. So since these are the things which are there in a program, so therefore we have to name this by ourselves. So that's why these all are known as the identifiers. Okay, so what are the rules of naming an identifier? So an identifier starts with the letter A to Z or capital A to capital Z. So an identifier can start with a capital letter or a small letter, okay, or an underscore followed by 0 or more letters. So it must be starting with a character, means the A to Z or A to small z, or with the underscore, and can have like numbers, digit, or letters after it. Okay, but it cannot have special characters. So Python does not allow special characters, so the identifier's name cannot have the special characters. Then next, identifiers must not be a keyword. So the keywords which are there in the compiler, like if, continue, else, not, so these cannot be the name of an identifier. So you cannot name a variable like if, so you cannot name it as if. Okay, then next is Python is a case sensitive programming language. So once you declare a identifier, then its case must be used as it is. Okay, so it is case sensitive, means Python is case sensitive. So let's see some valid identifiers. So some valid identifiers are like my book, since all are characters it is valid. Then file 1 2 3, so you are starting with the characters and then putting digits, so it is also valid. Then next is Z, so starting is a character, this is also valid. You are using a underscore, but minus is cannot be used. Okay, and you can start an identifier name with a underscore. Okay, then next is invalid identifier. So examples of invalid identifier like my book. So here as you can see, the identifier have a blank space, so therefore it is invalid. Then next is it is starting with the digit, so identifiers cannot start with the digit. Then next is this identifier is having a special character, that is @ so therefore it is invalid. So these are some of the invalid identifiers. There can be many more, and these are the examples of some valid identifiers. Okay, so that much for this tutorial. In the next tutorial we will learn some more things about the tokens. Thank you.